art school experience was completely the wrong time for me. I should have gone years later. So I got under the influence of a particular sculptor who sort of took me under his wing. Conrad, you're such a genius, and all this sort of stuff, which was actually terribly unhelpful. And it was a wonderful art school, I'm saying that. But the thing is, it was incredibly interesting, but it was just too chaotic. I've always had this enormous fascination with Indian culture and sculpture and the beauty and the kind of drama. But I wanted to get away from the big historical thing. I just wanted to get down the street level sort of thing. I like the security of craftsmanship and designing things and all that, making things. That makes me feel very together. I think it's much more interesting to be what I call stylized than realism. Well, Francis Bacon was a fantastic influence on everybody. And I met him a couple of times. My mother was a very good friend of his, actually. And she did the music for a film about him, which was really good. And the most extraordinary looking and extraordinary character, actually. Quite charming in a way. This very high-pitched voice, this very strange face that sort of lopsided almost. Well, I went there really to escape from England in the first place. I thought I'd leave, never to return. After about a year and a half, I got this message that my mum had died from my half-brother who was living in London. And so that freaked me out completely, and I was very distraught, and I wanted to come back to London, and he said no. I remember the last time I saw her, we sort of gave each other huge hugs and everything. I'm sure consciously I don't put angst into my work, that's all. I mean, I don't approach stuff like that. One part of my brain is very sort of designy and quite calculating, and I seem to have lots of ideas in that department, more than I can ever use really. But I want to get into a space where I can be really messy and much freer and make a fuck up if I need to, and just improvise in a way. With different styles and ideas. It's wide open. You've got, there's so many ways to make a painting. It's just, mind-boggling. So that's almost a different part of my brain, actually. Sometimes it's quite weird to have these two people inside me. Almost. of some of my pieces as quite political, actually, and they've still never been seen. And that really pisses me off because they were done of the moment. There's nobody there to really, pick up on what you're doing. And that annoys me intensely, So I still want to do portraits of people, but I still don't have a studio, so I can't really invite people there and sit them down and start painting, which is a bit frustrating. I've got a sort of space in my storage depot area, which I can sort of make into a painting space, but it's not very convivial. It's not really a place to relax, and plus there's no daylight. I just have to use what light there is. Anyway, so in the meantime, I had an Aussie girlfriend that I met who was a nurse, came from Melbourne, a lovely woman called Angie. And anyway, to cut a long story short, decided to actually try and emigrate to Australia from Athens. And it turned out to be quite easy, really, in a way. All I had to do was apply, do the medical, show them the qualifications. After about 6 months, I was accepted. So eventually ended up in Australia. Aging, well, as I said to somebody the other day, it comes as a real shock. Nobody tells you that suddenly you're 70 something. It's really shocking. Because you feel like you've, so much more to do, so much you haven't done. Wasted time, you've been sidetracked. Remorse is one of the most useless emotions. Because I felt like that from time to time really badly about things. So if you're not careful, it can become a really negative thing and drag you down. You're almost by definition incredibly selfish, actually, and I know that for myself that's the case. I mean, the main thing is to just do as much as you can. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll probably drop dead in the middle of one of my jobs. I've become a complete coward in the cold. My body sort of retires, really. It doesn't want to do much. It's a miserable existence, trying to keep warm. I was living in the squat at the time in a place called Albany Street in London. It was like everything was in flower and exploding with, it looked like Africa. It was just incredible. It's very, very hot and wonderful. If I start a new project or new material, I'm really interested in mastering it. Because I didn't do anything about wood, for example, whatsoever, until the 70s, halfway through the 70s. That was a whole brand new experience of learning. believe I'm finally making some progress. Wood, metal, stone, paint, canvas, paper, pencil, charcoal. England, Australia, Greece, India.